Thank you for the
Thank
call.
you very kind for calling.
All right, let's go now. I'm going to go to another text message, and this message says, and it's for the panel. Why do people when they cheat use their spouse's shortcoming as an excuse to cheat? In other words, why do the person that cheats say, well, my spouse got a shortcoming, and they use that as an excuse to cheat? Let's go to Reverend Polk.
The scripture say when a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing. You have to know what good is in order to find a good thing. Most men don't know what good is. Most men have hit rock bottom, don't know how to get up, faulting everybody but themselves because they in the bottom. But when you learn what is good, the scripture say every good and perfect gift come from above. So when you learn what is good, you will find something that's good. I have to agree with my brother when he say that so many of the people in the world today are unequally yoked. You have ladies that want something more than just some 24-inch rims and a loud paint job. They want a brother with a good salary, a good job, a 401, but most of the brothers don't have that. And so that's where the women's fall short. And I understand that. And that's where the brothers have to go out and be dogs. But I'm nobody's dog.
All right. My man clear that up now. All right. We have in the studio, we're talking about infidelity. Why do men cheat? We have in the studio with us Dr. Melvin James, a licensed psychotherapist, Imam Hatem Hamidullah, Imam of Islamic Center of downtown Orlando. We have Reverend Ricky Polk, a pastor of Unity AME Church. We're going to go to the phone lines. No phone. Okay, now let's go back to the text message. The phone number is 813, thank you, Hakeem, 251-9867. If you'd like to call in with your questions or any questions or comments for the panel, 251-9867 or 251-WTMP. All right, here's one from the text message. Why do they mentally cheat when they physically have everything they need in the woman they are committed to? Dr. James, back to you.
Well, as I said, I mean, it's a very complex issue because I said there are mental issues, there are emotional issues, there are physical issues, there are spiritual issues. So yes, a man can be physically satisfied. But one thing that we do is, we talked about a while ago, the issue about how are we intimate. If a man is very intellectual, for example, and he has a friend, a wife, or a significant person who's not very intellectual, that's a gap. If a man is very recreation motivated, his significant person isn't, that's a gap. So you may find gaps along different dimensions. And when there are gaps, people tend to naturally move apart in those areas. So you have to help the couple realize, here are my strong points and here are my weak points. And you help them come together. I also want to come back to a point where the caller asked about love. How can you say that you love me if you cheat on me? There are different types of love. There's erotic love to begin with. Erotic love is that chemical reaction, it's a biochemical reaction that takes place. Then there is agape love, which is sacrificial love. A man or woman can be emotionally in love with someone, but yet there are other needs that come in their life that can make them vulnerable. We are all vulnerable. As long as we are alive, we are all vulnerable. It's an issue of ethics, it's an issue of spiritual connection with God, but we are all vulnerable because we are all sexual persons.
Very good. Let's go to the phone lines. We got callers calling in. Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. What say you, caller?
Assalamualaikum.
Good
morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Panels, Imam Hatem, my good friend, and Jarvis and Hakeem, and the good reverend, and the therapist. I just want to make one comment concerning infidelity. And one thing Imam Muhammad pointed out once, that one of the main problems with human nature when it begins to disrespect its own self is because of selfishness. And when a human being becomes overpowered by his own or her own self, then they disrespect the self that they're connected with. First, by disrespecting themselves. When a man goes out and commits infidelity, he's just thinking of himself now. He's not thinking of his wife and his children and those things that he has to support, and he brings great pain upon him. And that's whether it's the common man on the street or the man in government, So it is driven by self, and that self is developed by a self outside of the self called the devil. Satan invites people to hell, and one of the ways he reaches to that, one of the ways he gives that invitation is by exciting your own selfish desires. So one of the things people have to do is begin to have self-discipline, self-control, and begin to love God more than they love self. And if they love God more than they love themselves, they will not violate what God has ordained and set for them to protect the institution of family life and of community life. Is what keeps the whole life safe.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Like
Thank
the
you so much.
program, and may God continue to bless you all to promote excellent consciousness among society.
Thank you
Thank you very kindly.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to the phone line. Welcome to Honest Opinion. You on. Go ahead, caller.
Say good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, caller.
My comment is that I once heard hello.
Yes,
Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, good morning. My comment is I once heard a sermon where the minister said that most people that were equally yoked fornicated their way to get there. And can I get a call? Can I get a response to that?
All right, then. Well, you know, brother, I don't know. In the panel, they plead the fifth on that, bro. Let's move on. All right, let's go.
I wasn't
You gotta
doing
know.
the preaching.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Reverend Ricky said he wasn't doing the preaching. That's all. You got another caller? Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. What say you, caller? Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, I'm not sure if you guys touched on the subject yet. I was away from my radio. But when indeed a man cheats and actually gets busted, because usually they really don't think really stupid things to get busted, and the wife or significant other forgives them. Why is it a double standard when she does the same thing? Then, I mean, all hell breaks loose. She is just she's just in the wrong. He cannot ever forgive her. Explain why there's the double standard. Thank you.
Yes, caller. Next week we're gonna have a part 2, women infidelity, and so we're gonna cover a lot of that from the other side, other perspective. But I'll let one of the other panelists answer your question. But those of you listening, stay tuned next week. Why do women practice infidelity? Part 2.
All right. Brother Imam, Hassan, you want to touch on what the caller said?
Asked her to read.
Okay. Basically what she said was when the man cheated, get busted, then if the woman do it, then all hell break loose in the man mind.
Yeah, so the balancing factor here is that wrong is wrong, you know, and when people begin to play the blame game, you know, you're not supposed to be doing it, or she's not supposed to be doing it. None of us are supposed to be doing it.
Right.
That's the bottom line. It's no get back, tit for tat type of situation. You know, that's the world that people live in. And I often give this as a scenario that in Texas and Oklahoma they had tornadoes, but in Florida they have hurricanes. And that's what the world is about right now. If you don't have your life based in moral excellence, you're going to wind up away from the eye of the storm. And the way that we keep ourselves and our lives straight is that we keep a spiritual bond. I just want to make a connection here. And I hope I'm answering the question at the same time. But if we have these 3 developments, you know, major 3, spirituality, psychology or intellectuality, and then the physical or emotional state. One of these have to be the leader. And the people in our society and in the world have to make a decision. Which one of these are the leaders?
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying? So does the emotions lead the psyche, or does the psyche lead the emotion, or the spiritual? So the bottom line is spirituality is the strongest force in man, or woman for that matter. And if the spiritual element in human beings are attached to the creator of all of it, then the spirituality is going to lead the intellect and the body, the physical body, in the right direction.
Very good.
If we allow these emotions and these intellectual capacities to lead us, then we're going to run ourselves again into areas that we have no control.
Very good. Doctor, you're itching over there. Come on, Doctor.
Yeah, just very briefly, Caller, the issue comes from a historical perspective. You've got to understand that when you look through history, the woman has been seen and treated as the object of the man, the property of the man. So if you understand that historical context, whenever there's infidelity, most of us men get more angry and upset because it's you, especially the issue about childbearing. So if you think about childbearing issues, the issue about I'm the head of the house, and most of us misinterpret what the Bible says about the head of the home. So it's like you have challenged my authority. So we tend to be very much more belligerent when it happens, while the converse is quite true. So that's a historical perspective.
Very good. Let's go to the phone lines. The phone lines is popping up. Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. What say you, caller? Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead, ma'am.
Tell her go ahead.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes. I want to say that I think you all disturbed around the whole issue of who's to blame for infidelity. James, the first chapter, verse 14 says, "But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. No wife or other person causes a person to lust after someone else and then thereby follow through with it." And also, God honors marriages, not all of these living together and shaking and all of that stuff. Hebrews 13:4 says, "Marriage is honorable all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers God will judge." So it's a whole lot of things that we need to come to understand about why we're here. And I know someone says we are sexual beings. That's not true. We're not animals. Animals just go right from animal to animal. Is we are put here to be spiritual beings to worship God in spirit and in truth. Although everybody's not doing that and won't do that, that's the purpose of God creating us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Let's go back to the phone lines. Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. Go ahead, caller.
Tell them fine.
Go ahead. We hear you, caller. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
How you doing? You and Hakeem and your guest there?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
I feel one of the major problems when we start out a relationship, you're not honest as to what you want. We go in there, and the very thing from the beginning of honesty about what we want out of the relationship, what we expect, we're going to put into it. And we need to talk about equal. The yoke, it deals with not only the physical, it looks at your spiritual aspect, it looks at what are your long-term goals, it looks at how you're going to deal with your finances, whether you want children, who's going to be responsible for them. It's the whole package. And we cannot spend the time to get to know each other to know whether or not we can be in this for the long haul. And you can't change anyone. And too often people get into a relationship feeling they can modify this person into what the father or the mother is like. And that's not going to work. Changes are extremely difficult. And if that's what you want to do, you need to get that understood before you start into the relationship. We cannot just spend enough time getting to know each other before we move forward with this thing.
Thank you for the call. That was, he hit it dead on the head. Let's go back to the phone lines. Welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real. It's hot up in here on Honest Opinion this morning. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, I just have to disagree with the sister that just called. She said we are not sexual beings. I disagree. We are very complex beings. We're sexual, we're emotional, we're physical, we're spiritual, and it encompasses all. And what I was trying to say is we are human beings, and we need to control ourselves, and that's the point. Let he, without sin, cast the first stone.
All right, caller.
I have to say.
All right, he without sin cast the first stone. We getting spiritual up in here. We got Islam, the Bible, Quran, everything being quoted up in here. But we are spiritual. We want to get this thing rolling. We want to make one announcement before we get too far gone. This is about the NFL, not NFL, NAACP.
That was last week.
This is about the NAACP. My voice, my vote, my power, taking back your community, the NAACP Political Action Committee. Tuesday, July 5th at 5:30, come out and talk about the new voting laws. voter registration. Get involved in your community. For more information, call